Hey guys, when you're playing the game World of Tanks, do you sometimes not really think it's fun? Maybe kind of get bummed out about playing, get tired of getting yelled at? Well, I'm going to give you a few tips that will hopefully make it a little bit easier to play, a little bit more fun to play when you're playing World of Tanks. Stick around. Hey guys, Mr.BeetleBum here, and I'm so happy to be back. Been away for quite a while here, and that's because of all the amount of work that I've been doing around the house and getting it all ready. And that's what summer's for, so there you go. But I hope you've missed me. I hope that you've been waiting for me to come back, because guess what? I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos now that I got time to do them, and I'm looking forward to making those. So anyways, today I wanted to start off with one video that I've been wanting to make for quite a while. I get a lot of people talking to me via YouTube comments, Twitch, streaming, chat, and a lot of people talk about how this game is not fun to play. It's toxic community, man, and you constantly get yelled at, and the company does this and this and this and this. Well, I get it. I get it. Yeah, this game can wear on you. It can wear on your nerves. You can go for a 10-0 loss run and whatnot, and it feels like the game is just against you and whatnot. But so here's some tips for you to help you play. But before I get into it though, let me just say, I played a lot of games, and a lot of games that are massive multiplayer online games, MMOs. And whenever you get a ton of people playing a game online and they're able to communicate with each other, you're gonna get toxicity. So I gotta say, yes, there is a lot, but the reality, I think, is that we in game notice only the negative. In other words, that guy who's yelling at you, that guy with 250 games under his belt, playing in a tier 8 or 9 when the kid should be at tier 3, and he's yelling at you, telling you how to play the game. You know how it is. If you don't like that, by the way, I have a video coming out later after this one. It's a music parody. It's all about that. But anyways, those people are real, man. Yeah, and you know that it's frustrating listening to that. But the reality is those are the loud ones. We don't realize there's other 12, 1,300 players in the game who aren't saying anything negative to you, because we only tend to notice the negative stuff as humans. You got to realize there's a lot of people there that, it'd be nice if they spoke up and said something, but, there are a lot of people who aren't that way. Anyways, moving forward. Number 5. All right, number 5, make goals for yourself. Not a big thing, not hard to do at all. Just takes a little bit of will to do it. This game has a very high learning curve, okay? Very high. Sometimes it takes people a year or 10,000 games in order to get a grasp on the way that mechanics work and the spotting, for crying out loud, the way it's going yo right now. How is spotting going to be today, I wonder? I don't know, George. Let's find out. Yeah, it's going to make it even more painful right now for new players. But what you can do is just make some goals for yourself. In other words, don't be in such a rush. Nobody's going to be a unicum overnight, okay? It's going to take a while. So seeing as how you realize it's going to take a while, why don't you make yourself some goals along the way, so that when you hit your goal, it's an achievement. We all like that. We all feel good when we do something that we've been trying to do, okay? Here's a suggestion. Every tank has hit points on it, whether it be 100 hit points, 500 hit points, 2,000 hit points, whatever it is. What you want to do is set a goal so that you will do the same amount of damage to the enemy as the hit points of your tank. So if my tank has 500 hit points and I go out into battle and I do 500 damage to the enemy, that means I've achieved, as your damage ratio would say, 1, meaning I've achieved that goal. I've done the same amount of damage as the hit points of my tank. The nice thing is, if you do the damage of your hit points, you're going to get a medal from Wargaming. Woohoo! We all love medals. Fire for effect. It's a nice little medal. I believe I got like over 9,000 of them or something. But anyways, yeah, start a collection. Your own very collection in wargaming with all your medals. But the thing that's great about it is it's a great starting, goal to have. So you can get a medal for it as well. But then as you go along, you can then, as you get really good, as you're getting good and you're getting those medals really good, you're doing that on a constant basis. Then what you want to do is look at your damage ratio, and it should be averaging close to 1. Try to get that to average up to like 1.5. I think mine's sitting at around 1.4 right now, 1.3, which is to be expected because I do a lot of stuff on streaming that, a lot of time playing the game is while I'm streaming. When I'm streaming, there's goofing around, there's showing people how to do stuff, there's not focusing and yada, 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 yada. Anyways, but you can set it, set your goal then to 1.25, 1.5, and so on and so on. And by the way, that's really good. Then there's other goals, like maybe do what I do. I always try to be within the top 3, definitely top 5. I feel like if I'm not in the top 5 of the team when it comes to damage at the end of the match, I haven't done my job. And I try to consistently stay within the top 3 damage dealers in a match. Unless if I'm playing a light, of course, that's totally different. I'm talking about damage dealing tanks, not light tanks. More of that on another video. Okay, so what about number 4? Find a clan that fits your play style. If you don't want to play clan wars, don't go and find a clan that's all about clan wars. You know what I mean? The BeetleBum Brigade. That's our clan here. That's what I started when I started doing YouTube and streaming. And the BeetleBum Brigade is a casual, growing clan that's all about helping people learn and improve and just have fun. Stay away from a toxicity, no stat shaming allowed, all that kind of stuff. So what we'd be a perfect fit for is just a casual person who just wants to have fun, not super serious, and a good person, a person that's not, there's literally clans out there that are geared towards wrecking games for people, taunting people, just making fun of people, and yada, yada, yada. And that's their claim to fame. That's not what we're about, and that's what you got to do is you got to find a clan. You don't have to be in a clan, by the way, but it's good to be in a clan. And the reason, as I was going to say, first find a clan that fits the way you are. And then the reason why it's good to find that clan is because then you have other people that you can talk to. I just got out of game, man. This idiot said blah, blah, blah. And you can bounce it off. It's easier to come down when there's other people to talk to. If you're there by yourself, play and you're getting freaked out and pissed off, well, it's going to take you a while to get back into, the calm state because you got no one to bounce anything off of. You know what I mean? So that's why that one's really, really good. Number 3. All right, number 3, play the game right. What do I mean by that? Well, play your light as a scout. Don't play it as a light. If you're in a heavy, don't sit in the back. When you learn, go play in the front where the heavy should be. That kind of thing. And why? Excuse me. The reason why is because then you're not going to get as many people freaking on you. When you don't play your class properly, and man, just come watch our streams and you'll see what I'm talking about. Every match almost, there's someone who's like, what are they doing? What is that guy? What the? That's what happens, man. And, again, it's hard to feel, it's hard not to feel sorry for these new players because they're coming into a game that pushes them up to the higher tiers. Like, go. Why? Because that's where the premium tanks are. And then they buy a premium tank and then Wargaming makes money and they go, yay, let's keep doing it. Instead of thinking about, how they can improve their game and make it so that it's more long-lasting game. But I digress. But anyways, what's going to happen is if you don't play your class right, you're going to get yelled at by people. You're going to get people coming at you. When you play high tiers, like above your skill, in other words, when you're playing high tiers, that's another time where you're going to get yelled at. That's the next point's going to touch on that a little bit. But just try to learn how to play properly. Try to learn how to play your class and play it properly. There's players out there who will not play their class properly, but they're doing it for a reason. They're doing it so that they can improve their own stats. And those people, you can see them a mile away. It's so obvious by their actions. They can sit there and yell at you and say, "Oh, I'm not doing anything," but it's proof's in the pudding, man. It's really easy to spot them and see when who they are for what they are, that kind of thing. Yeah, you don't want to go that route. A lot of people, unfortunately, watch YouTubers that are more for comedy, and then they see them sitting in the back doing nothing, and they're making fun of the people who are commenting on them about, like, why are you doing that? Why aren't you helping the team? And they just sit there and fuck you. Well, that's not learning how to play properly, man. It might seem funny when you watch the YouTuber, like that's their job is to make you laugh. And whatever, that's a whole other subject. That's okay, whatever, man. But the reality is if you start playing like that, you're just basically asking for it, man. If you're gonna just go, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna do it, well, then obviously you shouldn't be watching my videos. Because obviously you're just gonna not care if people yell at you, and you're not really worried about that. But anyway, so if you are worried about that, it's real simple. Don't play that way. Play your class properly. Learn how to play. Don't be in a rush, man. And that leads to the next point. Number 2! Don't be in a rush. It's that simple. Don't be in a rush, man. Learn how to play in mid-tiers. Something I tell everyone all the time, man. If you're a new player, this whole video is for new players, by the way. If you're a new player and you're coming into this game, it's a great game. It's beautiful, man. Great graphics. It's a beautiful idea. Quick. You can queue up and get into a match most of the time in 30 seconds, but most of the time, in the worst case scenario, like under 2 minutes. Guys, my number one game I played in my history was World of Warcraft, and sometimes our queues to get into battlegrounds or arenas was like 20 minutes, for crying out loud. This is awesome when you can just go bloop and quickly get in. But anyways, for all you guys who are just coming into the game and trying to learn or trying to improve, don't be in a rush. Forget the high tiers, okay? Do yourself a favor. Stay away from 7, 8, 9, and 10, man. 4, 5, 6. Those are your friends. That's your sweet spot. That's your zone, man. That is where it all comes to be and where you learn. And why? Here's a couple reasons why. You're playing the game and you're playing light. Doesn't matter what country you're playing for. Light. And all of a sudden you hit tier 5. And boom! All of a sudden there's all kinds of tanks. There's TDs. There's different kinds of TDs. There's heavily armored. There's paper. Then you got mediums. You got slow ones. You got fast ones. You got armored ones. You don't have armor. You got the heavies. And you get the idea. Like, at tier 5, there is such a vast range of tanks, man, to give you an idea of how to play a different way. The KV-1 with all of its different guns, the ability to side scrape, and you can learn how to do it on that. There's all these tanks that are positioned to help you learn how to play if you just take the time and play a bunch of them, okay? But normally what happens, like I said, is, I gotta get to tier 10, man, because that's where it counts. You suck if you can't play tier 10. You're a noob. Man, shut the bleep up, man. That's bullcrap. There's just as many good players playing at tier 5 as there are at tier 10. I got news for you. There's a crap ton at tier 10 that don't even know how to play, that shouldn't be playing at tier 10. And that's because of the way that Wargaming has set their game up, man. Pushing everyone up there to buy premium tanks. Congratulations, you got a nice looking tank. It's a premium. It's a wicked one, I tell ya. But you sure can't play it. And that's the problem. Don't be in a rush. Learn how to play. Learn the mechanics. Learn the camo mechanics. Learn the spotting mechanics. Learn the topography. All that stuff. It's going to take a while to learn all that stuff, man. So hang out at tier 4, 5, and 6. Definitely tier 5. And learn. I can't stress it enough. I've had people come back to me and said, dude, guess what, man? Mr.BeetleBum. I started. I talked to you when I started. I'm like, yep. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, 4, 5 months later, and I'm up to like 7,000 games. Wow, you're playing a lot. And now I'm improving, and I've gone up the first 5,000 games. I basically just played at tier 5, like you said, and holy cow, man, my crew skills are up and I understand the game and I'm doing really good at tier 7 and 8, but I'm not at tier 9 and 10 yet. That is what I call a very smart player. That is when I'm like, fucking hey, man, oops, I did my swear. One swear per video. Anyways, that's when I'm like, awesome, man. Makes me feel great because someone learned and they're enjoying the game. You stay away from all that toxicity when you're at tier 5. You know why, guys? If you're learning and you mess up in tier 5, hell, man, if they get mad at you, you can just laugh at them. It's like, dude, this is tier 5. We're supposed to be learning at tier 5. So if you're mad at me for screwing up, how about you shut the and go up to higher tiers where you're expected to know how to play? You know what I mean? That's why people don't really freak out. You do get the toxic guy who's just playing the game simply to rage and trigger people. Those people are going to exist in all games. So don't take him out of the equation. You're not going to get as many people yelling at you when you mess up in tier 5 as you would at a higher tier, like say 8, 9, or 10. Because there, when you mess up, it's so competitive and people know how to play so well. Their crew skills are through the roof. What I mean by that is, like 4, 5, and 6 crew skills on each member. You can really handicap a team. In other words, you really do harm to the team when you mess up. It's the team that has the more newbies playing on it that basically ends up losing, whether because they're hanging back or they're making bad decisions, whatever. There's a million different reasons, so we're not going to go into it. Anyways, there you go. This almost could be my most important one, I'll tell you what. But that being said, our number one tip at having fun in this game, okay? Are you ready for it? You ready? It's coming up right now. Oh, hold on a second. Wait. How about we have a best runner-up? In other words, one that didn't make the list, but kind of pretty good point. You know what it is? Right here. Runner-up! The runner-up is this. I've been noticing there's certain times when it's not fun to play. A lot of people say, well, you got to do it, man. For example, weekends. Weekends are convenient for a lot of people. People who can't play during the week, they're going to play on the weekends. I understand that. I feel for you. That's all I got to say is, I feel for you. If you have to play on the weekends, especially on times 5 or times 4, hell, any times, man. Times 3. And if you're wondering what I mean is you get times 3 or 4 or 5 of the XP on your first match in each tank. So people log on and they play each tank one time to get a win, or up until they get a win, so they can get that times 5. Problem is you get a bunch of people who are doing that. They don't really give a crap about what's happening in the match. They just want to hurry up and get in and get out. And you get a lot of newer players playing, and it's just pretty chaotic. So I'll tell you I said all of that just to say one thing. I personally find on the NA, I'm on the East Coast, and I find when I play, let's say 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, that in the morning, like late at night, it gets so much better. The matches at high tiers, it seems like there's more people, with better quality, higher quality playing. It's just that simple. So I would say, maybe check, play different times. And see what you feel like gives you the best ability, a best chance of having a good game. For me, it's like night and day, man. When I play during the daytime on the East Coast compared to when I play late night, when I play afternoon on the East Coast compared to late night or early morning, it's literally night and day. It's literally night and day. So there you go. Now, back to number 1. All right, number 1's real easy, man. Platoon with friends, man. We talked about getting in a clan earlier that plays your play style, right? Don't join a clan war clan if you're not in a clan wars. Platoon with people you know. Jump into Discord, get your headset on, get the mic going on so you can communicate. You're going to do better based on that. But the more important thing is the fact that when you communicate, you play better. Because you're able to say, let's say I got 2 platoon mates, right? There's 3 of us, a full platoon. And we're all mediums. We're going down a flank. And all of a sudden, I see someone coming behind us. I go, behind. And we all turn around. take care of that guy, and then move forward. If I'm just by myself and I'm like, oh, behind, I can yell behind all I want. They're not, the other players on my team are not going to help me because they don't see it. Well, maybe they do, but anyways, you know what I'm trying to say here, right? They're not going to turn around and blow them up because they don't see them coming. So that's why there's a chance that you can do much better, because you're basically playing together and you're helping each other out. It's more likely you're going to do better. What happens when you start playing better? You get confidence. What happens when you're confident in your abilities? Just like anything in life, man, things get better for you. Okay, when you go into a job, you don't know anything about the product that you're trying to sell. You learn about the product. What happens with knowledge? You start learning the product and you do better. You feel more confident about your abilities to talk about it. You start talking about it with confidence. What happens? You do more sales, and all of a sudden, you make more money and you're happy. Well, in the game, you platoon with people that you know. You start having fun. You communicate. You do better. You start feeling better about the game, and that makes you happy. Not only that, when you get a Yahoo yelling at you, you're just talking. You can just talk about him and laugh at it instead of going to the keyboard and going, man, you don't know what you want. You can just sit there and laugh about it with your buddies and never even go into chat. That means you will get a chat ban, and you just end it right there. The other thing is you could be like me and pull a BeetleBum and fall off a cliff, drive into a building, do something silly, and it's awesome when you're there with other people, man, because then you can all laugh about it. We all do stupid stuff and have accidents when we're playing games, man. So it's kind of fun just, to rib each other and tease each other and whatnot in a healthy way with your friends. So my number one tip for sure, platoon, man. It's real fun, and it just basically keeps your mind away from the shit. That was two. The stuff. It helps you ignore the stuff that's going on during the game. All right, guys, this video went a little longer than I was hoping, but that's, what can I say, man? That's me. A lot of real cool news coming up. I'll be going to Tank Fest here in Ontario, so look forward to videos on that. Guys, I will be doing a launch of my latest parody video. That's Why You're an Imbecile. That will be coming out later on tonight. We got a whole whack load of videos queued up for coming out, and I'm glad to be back. Speaking to you guys on YouTube, I will be bringing out a video for just my subscribers to let you know what's going on and my appreciation for your patience and everything. But until next time, guys, I'm Mr. BeetleBum, and I'm out.